Kirtana, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra.
Don't join Yamuna. Yamuna is a tributary. Okay, so Indus, Ganga, and the Brahmaputra are called as the Himalayan rivers, which are considered to be the most important. Of course, we are only talking about Ganga in India because Indus also doesn't have much flow in India, and Brahmaputra as such doesn't have any flow in India except for Assam. Only in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh you have the flow of Brahmaputra. The rest of it is in Bangladesh. So when we are talking about the Himalayan rivers as such, they are considered to be the perennial, and also they carry on the most important things also. Just let me see that points. If you can go through the points, it will be easy for you. Just a second. So this we will talk about the Himalayan rivers. So you call them as so first introduction we talk about is that the rivers are classified as North Indian rivers, or you call them as Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers. And the major North Indian rivers are the Ganga, Indus, Brahmaputra and their tributaries. And the peninsular rivers are the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada and Tapi. In some places they call them as Tapati also, which is the correct word, but usually they use the word called as Tapi. Tapti also they call it as. Now, what are the characteristics of the Himalayan rivers is that they are both, as I told you just now, they are both rain-fed and snow-fed, and they flow throughout the year. They tend to have lesser regime fluctuations. That means they don't have any fluctuations. They carry full water as such. Many of the Himalayan river systems are in their youth and have erosional activity dominating with simultaneous upliftment of the Himalayas. What are the important characteristics when you talk about or features is one is the deep gorges, V-shaped valleys which are formed. After entering the plains, they form the depositional features like the oxbow lakes, floodplains, braided channels and deltas near them. Just now I explained. They display strong meandering tendency. They bring more sediments and silt due to the sedimentary characteristics of the Himalayas. So the meaning here is that what are the characteristic features of the Himalayas means what is the answer you will write? Deep gorges, V-shaped valleys. Then after entering the plains, they will be forming the braided channels. That means they cut the meandering and Oxbow lakes will be formed. And I also told you that because they form a lot of erosional activities, they carry the silt, the alluvium and deposit in the most important areas and create the most fertile agricultural lands also. Many of the Himalayan rivers like the Indus, Brahmaputra, Kosi, Sutlej are river systems. Many of the rivers follow a consequent pattern. All this is okay. Then flooding events due to the higher rainfall and huge amount of sediments carried by rivers leads to frequent flooding and devastation. In this, Kosi is called as the sorrow of Bihar. Can anyone tell me what is the sorrow of Bengal? Any idea? Okay, in the course. Okay, I'll just tell you. Okay, so Kosi is called as the sorrow of Bihar. Okay, then after that you have these are all I don't want you to go through. Okay, the drainage basin of the Himalayan rivers covers an area of millions of square kilometers. So the Sindh river region is this, and the Beas, the Ravi, the Sutlej. These are all the tributaries of which river? Can anyone guess and tell me? Sutlej, Beas, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum are the tributaries of Indus. Indus River. Sutlej, Beas, Ravi, Chenab and Jhelum are the tributaries of Indus. Okay. The Ganga catchment area is the longest. Okay. And then the Brahmaputra covers an area of 340 because I told you that doesn't have much flow in India. Okay. Then after that.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the tributaries that you told right now, ma'am, they flow in Punjab, I think.
Yes, sir. I asked that only because Indus doesn't flow in our country. Only the 5 tributaries are flowing in Punjab. That's why Punjab name is that only. Punjab. Punch means 5. Jab means where they flow. Okay, we have only
Okay.
5. That's what I asked you. The tributaries of which river they are. So they are the Indus tributaries. One more thing, children. When you are learning the rivers, be very specific with the tributaries because every river has a tributaries and don't mix up the tributaries. That is very, very important. Okay, Ganga has number of tributaries, Indus has 5 tributaries, and Brahmaputra, no, when it is flowing in different states, it has a different name. In Arunachal Pradesh, it is called as Dihang. Okay, and then when it enters Bangladesh, it is called as Padma. Okay, and there it will join with Ganga and will join the Bay of Bengal. So different names are there for Brahmaputra when it is flowing. So you should be very, very clear as to what are the different names that are given to the rivers as such. Okay. So deep gorges, then the pattern of flow of the rivers and all that. These are all extra things. Now we'll see. These are the characteristics. Now when you say, this is the most important point always asked in the questions. Origin is Himalayas. What are the peninsular rivers? Just now I told you. Can anyone repeat the peninsular rivers? Names of the rivers?
Flow throughout the year.
No. I'm asking the names of the rivers, peninsular rivers. Which are the peninsular rivers?
Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra.
No. You are confusing, children. Himalayan rivers are Indus, Ganges.
Mahanadi, Godavari.
Very good. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada, Tapati. Now, one more thing you remember here is that Narmada and Tapati are the two rivers which will join the Arabian Sea. Rest of the rivers will be joining the Bay of Bengal. Okay, Narmada and Tapti are the only 2 rivers, peninsular rivers, which will join the Arabian Sea because they flow along the fault lines. That is the reason why they join the Arabian Sea. Whereas Mahanadi, Godavari, Kaveri, Krishna, all these will be joining the Bay of Bengal. Am I clear with that? Okay. So this you have to remember. Yeah. Origin is Himalayas and here it is peninsular highlands. Regime is perennial and less fluctuations, seasonal and higher regime fluctuations. What do you mean fluctuations? Is that sometimes the water will be more, sometimes the water will be less. Okay, stages of life, they are in the youth stage, they are in the old stage. That means these are all considered to be. And one more thing, Godavari is also called as, one more name is there for Godavari. Can anyone tell me? It is also called as Dakshin Ganga. Godavari is called as Dakshin Ganga. Okay, that means how much of importance, sacredness we give to Ganga river, the same thing will be given to Godavari also. That's why Godavari is called as the Dakshin Ganga. These are all the points you have to remember when you are writing the competitive examinations. Now, these are the things they will ask. Maybe they will not ask you to description and all that. When they ask you the MCQs, these are the points they will be asking. So, Dakshin Ganga is Godavari. Remember that word. Okay, Dakshin Kasi also it is referred to as. Okay, so Dakshin Ganga is Godavari. Remember that. Okay, what are the erosional features? What are the geographic features of Himalayas? When I ask you, you should be able to tell. What are the erosional features? V-shaped valleys, meanders. Okay, at least 2 features you can learn. Then you also have deltas here. Then what are the features in peninsular India? Are U-shaped valleys. Here it is V-shaped, there it is U-shaped. Meanders are not there in the peninsular rivers, whereas meanders are there in the Himalayas. Okay, then the most important deltas which you find in peninsular India, the Godavari Delta, the Krishna Delta, and also the estuaries of Narmada and Tapi. Estuaries refers to which are almost having backwaters, or they try to have some waterfalls, and all these are called as the estuaries. Okay, so these are the features. So can anyone repeat? Geographic features of Himalayas are?
Ma'am, they are V-shaped and
V-shaped valleys. See that they have V-shaped valleys, meanders, oxbow lakes also you can include here. Whereas in peninsula you have
U-shaped valleys.
U-shaped valleys, but more deltas are there. What are the deltas? Godavari Delta, Krishna Delta are the most important deltas.
And ma'am, meanders are absent.
Yes, meanders are not there in peninsula. Okay, then the next one we talk about is all these not required for you. I think just like that you can go through these points. Himalayan system, river system would be affected by climate change and all that. Okay, see now these are the maps you can go through. These are the various rivers we have. So Jhelum, Chenab, Indus, all these are the tributaries of Indus. So here it is Indus. Ravi, actually they say Ravi also is correct. R-A-B-I usually they don't write Ravi anywhere, but here it is written as Ravi. So Rabi also is correct. Rabi, Bees, Satluj, Chenab, Jhelum. All these are called as the tributaries of Indus. Okay. Then you have Ganga. Then you have the Chambal, Yamuna, Gomati, Gagara, Sun. All these are the tributaries of Ganga. Okay. These are all called as the tributaries of Ganga. Okay. Then you have Narmada, Tapi, Godavari, Penganga. Okay. And then you have the Mahanadi here. Mahanadi is in which state? Which state, children?
Ma'am, Bengal.
Hey, Mahanadi.
Ma'am, Andhra Pradesh.
Hey, Mahanadi is Odisha. Hooghly is in West Bengal. Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry about that.
No, you should know this, ma. Geography you should know perfectly. Okay. So Ganga is actually Uttar Pradesh. Now you know that Ganga actually has this glacier called as Bhagirathi. You know that, no? Alaknanda, Dev Prayag, all these are the rivers when you talk about. I'll just talk the origin of the rivers. I'll just talk. We'll go through this once and then I will talk about that. Okay. Then Tungabhadra is a tributary of
Karnataka.
Karnataka only. Which tributary, which river tributary it is? It is actually Tungabhadra is both states, Andhra and Karnataka. And Tungabhadra is a tributary of Krishna. Bhima, Ghataprabha. All these are the tributaries of Krishna. Okay. Then, after that, you have the Godavari. Sabari also is a tributary of Godavari only. Penganga is also a tributary of Godavari only. Am I clear? Okay. Now, coming to the drainage systems, already I mentioned this. Perennial, rivers, seasonal and all that I mentioned. Now comes the Indus River system. You should know the lengths. Number is very important, children. What is the total length of the river of Indus is 2,900 kilometers. And the Indus River rises in Tibet near which place is Lake Mansarovar. All these are the points you have to remember when you are learning about the river. So first one, the length is 2,900 kilometers. Where does it rise? It rises in Tibet near Mansarovar. Enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir, where it forms a picturesque view. So, where does it enter India? Quickly.
Ma'am, Ladakh.
What is Ladakh now?
Ma'am, it's a union territory.
Very good, excellent. So, it is 2,900 kilometers, originates near Lake Mansarovar, then it enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, then comes the Ganga river system. The source of Ganga called Bhagirathi. You all know that Bhagirath was the person who brought Ganga to the earth. So it is called as Bhagirathi and is fed by Gangotri glacier and joined by Alaknanda at Devprayag in Uttarakhand. Okay, these areas, these places, all you have to remember. Bhagirathi, and it is fed by which glacier?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Gangotri Glacier.
Gangotri Glacier and joined by Alaknanda,
Alaknanda.
Devprayag in Uttarakhand. Okay. The Ganga emerges from the mountains to the plains to Haridwar. That means near Haridwar, Ganga will be coming from the mountains and enters the plains near Haridwar. The Ganga is joined by many tributaries from the Himalayas, a few of them being major rivers such as the Yamuna, the Gagara, the Gandak, and the Kosi. These are the Himalayan tributaries. Again, I'm making myself very clear. They are called as the Himalayan tributaries. So when the question is asked, what are the Himalayan tributaries, means which are the names you will write? Yamuna, Gagara, Gandak, and the Kosi. Am I clear with that? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
So, but these points are very important, children. Bhagirathi, fed up by the Gangotri glacier. And one more thing I have to tell you is Ganga system. 1 second, I'll tell you that also. Before I forget that. Okay. So, at Haridwar, okay. It is joined by, okay. That's all. Okay. Then, Farakka, the length of the Ganga. What is the length of Indus? Let me see.
Ma'am, 29,000.
100. And what is the length of Ganga now? 2500. Remember, these two numbers are very important. 2500 kilometers is Ganga, 2900 kilometers is Indus. Okay, Farakka in West Bengal is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta, where the Ganga river divides into two parts. It divides into two called as the Bhagirathi and the Hooghly. Okay, so Farakka in West Bengal, where does Ganga divide? Or what is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta means?
Farakka.
Farakka in West Bengal is the northernmost point of the Ganga Delta, where it gets divided into two parts. The Bhagirathi Hooghly flows southwards through the deltaic plains to the Bay of Bengal. I already told you that they move towards the Ganga plains, that is towards the Bay of Bengal. So the main stream flows southwards into Bangladesh and is joined by the Brahmaputra. Remember this. So till Farakka it flows, it divides. Then what happens? The main stream, after dividing, the main stream will flow into Bangladesh and is joined by which river there? Brahmaputra. And when it is entering Bangladesh and flowing in Bangladesh, there it will be called as Meghna. What is the name? It is Meghna. The Meghna river flows into the Bay of Bengal and forms the Sundarban Delta. This also, I think we have talked about the Sundarban Delta also, where I talked about Sundari tree also. I talked about that is how Sundarbans got the name also, I said. Right? Yeah. So Ganga river system you have to learn properly because the entire flow is in India only. So it is a big river system where a number of points are there. So I'll go through once again all the points. So the source is called as the Bhagirathi and it is fed by which glacier? Quickly you tell me along with me. Then I think that you will understand properly. You can read and tell me.
Glacier.
Gangotri glacier and is joined by
Alaknanda.
At Devprayag in Uttarakhand. Very important is Devprayag. You also call it as a Sangam also. Allahabad is the place where you have the Sangam, where it is joined by Yamuna.
Ma'am, Triveni Sangam.
Triveni Sangam. That's what I'm saying. Triveni Sangam is nothing but this only we are talking about. Right? So, Alaknanda at Devprayag, Uttarakhand. These 3 points are very important. Gangotri Glacier, Alaknanda, Devprayag. Okay. Then, where does it emerge from near Haridwar?
Mountains to plains.
Yeah, it emerges from the mountains and flows on to the plains. So all these are considered to be the sacred places. Allahabad people go to have a dip in the Sangam. Okay, then Haridwar is also a sacred place over there. Kasi is a sacred place over there. So when you talk about Ganga, we talk about religion, we also talk about the water also over there. Yeah, and then the Ganga is joined by the which tributaries I said?
Ma'am,
Himalaya.
Very good. Himalayan tributaries. And what are the important tributaries I said? Yamuna,
Ma'am, Yamuna, Gandak, Kosi, and
Gagara. Yamuna, Gagara, Gandak. What is the length?
Ma'am, 2500 kilometers.
Indus, Indus.
Ma'am, 2900.
Can anyone tell me where does the Indus originate? Where does Indus originate? Just now I told you. Originates from Tibet, lake.
Ma'am, Ladakh.
It enters India in Ladakh. I said, where does Indus rise? It rises in Tibet, Lake Mansarovar. Yeah, it rises near Lake Mansarovar, and the total length is 2900 kilometers, and it enters India in the Ladakh district of Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, you have to remember. Just now I explained. If you forget means how, children, how do you remember then? Okay, Indus rises in, once again, Indus rises in, children.
Ma'am, Tibet Mansarovar Lake.
Mansarovar Lake, total length is 2900 kilometers, and it enters India.
Ma'am, through Ladakh.
To Ladakh
district of Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay, and what are the 5 tributaries of Indus?
Narmada.
They are peninsular rivers. Don't bring them to Himalayas. Lots of disputes will occur now. Tributaries are Rabi, Beas, Sutlej, Jhelum, Sun. 5 tributaries are there. I gave you the name also. Punjab. Punjab is formed by 5 rivers. 5 rivers are nothing but they are the tributaries of Indus. You have to remember, children, so geography is like maths only. Understood? If you write it wrong, that means we are changing a geography only. We can't change the geography, children. We cannot put the state somewhere else. Already lots of fighting is going on between the states. If we change the rivers, finish. Okay? Don't bring Narmada to Himalaya and Himalaya to Peninsula. Right? So, it is just like your maths formulas. Geography is like that. You should know the correct location, exact location, because we cannot change. So, when you are marking on the map, accurately we will give marks. But when you are writing the answer, it should be perfect place. We cannot change the boundaries of the countries, boundaries of any other places. Right? So, so river system is over. Ganga is clear, children? Can I go down?
Yes, ma'am.
So Meghna, you remember where does it call? Where it is called as Meghna?
Ma'am, Bangladesh.
Which river it joins with? When Ganga is joined by
Brahmaputra.
When it is joined by Brahmaputra, when it is flowing downstream in Bangladesh, then it is called as Meghna. Okay, and it flows into the Bay of Bengal and forms the Sundarban Delta. Very important, you have to remember. So the delta which is formed by the Ganga river system in West Bengal is a Sundarban Delta. Remember like that. You have to have these on your tips. We are all Indian children and you are all going to write your civil service examinations. Means these are the questions they will ask. Okay, you should be very careful in giving the answers and writing. That means you should know the geography so well. Then only you will be able to become good administrators also, no? If you don't know the geography is only how, boundaries only, how do we do it? Right? This is very important. Next, we'll go to Brahmaputra river system. Now, when we go to Brahmaputra, it rises same. Indus and Brahmaputra rise from the Manasarovar. This is easy to remember. Indus, Brahmaputra, Manasarovar. Ganga, once again, let me see. Where does Ganga originate? Source of Ganga.
Ma'am, Gangotri Glacier.
Very good. Before that, the source is Bhagirathi and originates from the Gangotri Glacier and joined by
Alaknanda.
At
Ma'am, at Triveni Sangam.
At Dev Prayag in
Ma'am, in
It is called as Devaprayag in Uttarakhand. That you have to remember. Okay, then coming to Brahmaputra, it also rises in Manasarovar Lake, slightly longer than the Indus. On reaching Namcha Barwa is a place, it is one of the mountains of Himalayas. Okay, it takes a U-turn and enters India in Arunachal Pradesh, where it is called as Dihang. It is not called as Brahmaputra. Remember that. So you have to write this point very clearly. Where does Brahmaputra enter India? It reaches Namcha Barwa. There it takes a U-turn and enters India in Arunachal Pradesh, and it will be called as Dihang. Dihang is joined by Dibang. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, so Brahmaputra is the largest river, ma'am, because it's slightly longer than Indus.
Correct. See, if you take that way, Indus, Brahmaputra and Ganges, if you take, for example, Ganga is the biggest one because the entire flow is in India only. But Brahmaputra flows mostly in Bangladesh, not in our country. We don't have anything except in Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. It reaches Assam only to cause floods. There is no use of Brahmaputra. And one more important thing is that there is no dam, there is nothing constructed on Brahmaputra. Why? Because Brahmaputra flows to very rocky terrain where you cannot construct any projects over that. Whereas you have a number of projects on Ganga, and you also have projects on tributaries of Indus, but not on Brahmaputra, because Brahmaputra flows through rocky terrains. You cannot construct a dam over that. Am I clear? So Brahmaputra is only meant to cause floods in Assam, destruction only, nothing else. No use of Brahmaputra except for that. But it is a Himalayan river. Am I clear with that? So only these 2 points you will learn. For Brahmaputra, it is easy. Brahmaputra and Indus are very easy. Ganga only you have to learn number of things. But when you come to peninsular rivers, everything you have to learn. Am I clear? So these few points, if you learn in the Himalayan rivers, you are done. Okay. So on reaching Namcha Barwa, it takes a U-turn, enters India and Arunachal Pradesh, where it is called as the Dihang. Dihang is joined by Dibang, the Lohit, and many other tributaries to form the Brahmaputra in Assam. So it will be joined by all these tributaries. Then it enters Brahmaputra and becomes Amaputra, and then in Assam it flows by causing floods. You can hear always Assam will be in floods only because of this Brahmaputra only. Am I clear? So these are the 3 river systems of the Himalayan river systems, we call it as. Okay. Shailaja, shall I stop here? I'll continue next week.
Yeah, next week you can.
So, yes, children, any doubts you have, children?
No, ma'am.
Is it
I
clear?
have a doubt, but not from this part. Ma'am, what is a gulf?
Gulf. Gulf refers to the borders. When you are talking about Gulf of Cambay, you call it as. That means it is near the seashore, you call it as, where you have all these export and import taking place. That is called as a Gulf. It is near the oceans. You have in Arabian Sea, you have Gulf of Cambay. Okay. It is almost in the middle of the river, or it can be on the borders of the river. Okay. Any other doubts?
Okay, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Am I clear with this points what I told today? So next Saturday or next Sunday, I will take the class and I will try to complete this topic. Only little more is there. The peninsular rivers only I have to do. I was searching for one PPT, but I was not very sure with the PPT. That's why I'm showing all these points. They are not very clear in that. So I thought I will show you and explain like this only. Okay. Next time, if you can get your atlas or something, no, children, you can, I think you can do a better job as such. If you can have that atlas and all that, no, that will be very easy for you to understand. If you have a reverse map or something like that, no, it will be very easy for you to, you have, no, you can see that. She's showing. Good. I don't have any maps now. Usually I used to do like that only. But instead of that, no, Yashaswini, you can have a clear reverse map. That is a political map. I think that will be more confusing.
Yes, ma'am.
You can have
Means
a
last time you said to take a map, no, ma'am. That's why I searched some
very
maps
good,
and that is
very good, ma'am. Very good. So that means you are interested. You do the work properly. Good, good. If you do like that, no, then you will catch the. See, one thing, when we are explaining, no, when you listen carefully and you see that map, no, it will remain in your mind for a longer period of time. You will not forget. That is why we say that we use a map. Or next time I will see if I can get anything like that. I will show and then explain. That will be easy for me also, because I'm also feeling very awkward to teach like this. Geography should not be taught like this. It is wrong way of teaching. Just like that, I cannot give lecture like that.
Reverse map I will download and keep, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, children.
Yeah. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yeah.
We will end the session here.
Yeah.
Thank you, children. Tomorrow we will meet.